Anyway, we love you. It's so awesome to be here with you. You truly have the greatest culture because you have the greatest people. What you care about is what matters. What's on the Barbie tonight? What fitness are you into? See, in America, it's about how much money do you make? What kind of car do you drive? What's your job? We have it all mixed up. Here, you care about what matters. Who are your friends? Who's your family? Where's your favorite pub? What do you like to drink? Those things are awesome. And then you have the world's largest life-saving association. Did you know that? That's really cool. But here's why it's even better. It just got bigger because now it's the Isagenix Australian Life-Saving Association. Because that's really what we do. I mean, it's so cool to have a company that saves lives, products that save lives, products that change people forever, transform people's bodies, right?
Yep.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that just like the greatest thing? So it gives you purpose, drive, passion, because every time you know you talk about it, you're changing someone's life for the better, forever.
So we're going to talk today why Isagenix makes you, it's actually how Isagenix makes you leaner, healthier, and feel younger with more energy. And we're going to teach this through diets, but it's actually all about wellness. And we're going to just, because diet's an easy way for us to teach you this circular topic. So let's just talk about it. Diets make you fatter. So in Australia, how have you been told to lose weight? Apparently you haven't been told anything in Australia. You're like a bunch of mushrooms. In the dark, eh? So, how have you been told to lose weight? Come on. Dieting, cut calories, and what? And cardio, right? It's the two things you've been told. Well, it turns out diets make you fatter. And Pennington did the research in the United States along with UCLA, and what they did was they looked at all the diets, all the low-calorie diets for 2 years. They put a large group on it, and 95% of them weighed the same as when they started. But the average weight loss was almost 30 pounds. But the problem is, of the 30 pounds, 1/3 was muscle and bone. So they were fatter than when they started. So here's the idea is, you weighed the same, but you were 10 pounds fatter than when you started. So the next time you diet, guess what happens? You get fatter, and you get fatter, and fatter. So you're going the wrong way. So every time you're cutting those calories, you're doing what? You're losing muscle and bone, and you're gaining more fat. And what you want to be is the opposite. You want to be burning fat and gaining lean muscle. So
wait, hold on. So it's important to know why they get fatter. Because you're going to be talking to people, they're going to say, well, I'm doing this diet, or I'm thinking about this diet. So you want to tell them that, oh, did you know that diets actually make you fatter? The research shows this. But did you know why? Because you're starving the body of calories. If you starve the body of calories beyond 3 days, the body goes into starvation mode and it starts to try to protect itself. So what it does is it lays down more fat and it causes uptake of the lean muscle mass. It actually starts to draw from your muscle and it starts to draw from bone density. All of that leads to horrible stuff, bad health conditions, and more fat. So now you know why. Got it?
Yep.
Don't starve the body with calorie-starving diets. They make you get fat, and now you know why.
And it puts you in something called negative anabolic balance, which is a fancy way of saying you're losing muscle, gaining fat. And what you want to be is build muscle, burn fat. You want to have what's called positive anabolic balance. And you can see that this is 2 IsoBody Challenge winners, and you can see the transformations in their body as they've gone from being not only fat and overweight, is the lean muscle mass they've gained as well. And this is just to show you an example of positive anabolic balance for men and for women. And you can see, even though she was lean here, look at the lean muscle mass and look at the fat that's come off.
So go back to that for a second. So sometimes it's the ones that already look pretty darn good. Like if I saw her, I'd go, yeah.
You're in Australia,
I'm good with it. Right. No,
Careful.
I get it.
We're down
All
under.
So anyway, what happens is they still have visceral fat. They still have toxins. And their bodies are still starving. And it's evidenced by when you change that anabolic balance, look how the body transforms even further. It's amazing. you rid the body of toxins, you balance that anabolic rate so that now they're actually adding lean muscle, they're burning more fat more efficiently, and they're adding bone density. Look at the change. So I'm bringing that up because this is not a company that's all just about weight loss. It's about being more healthy. It's about having better body performance. It's about being the best human being that you can be mentally, physically, on the inside out, because your health is an inside job. Yes or no?
Yep.
Yes.
Got it?
Yep.
Yeah, baby.
So we're going to talk about this through the 30-day weight loss system, and Mac and Steve really want us to cover the science today. So as you can see, we lost the entire slide. Well, no problem. Because I happen to know what it says. So we'll just summarize. So this is a very interesting study that Isagenix commissioned out of the Skidmore College with Dr. Paul Lacherio. And it was a two-phase study. Phase one, you can't actually stare at that because there's nothing magically going to, I mean, you may be Superman, but I don't even think Superman can fix that slide. Oh, look, hey, it came back. You Superman. Down under, baby. Down under. So what's interesting in this is they had two phases. Phase one was a 9-day weight loss, and then it was a 12-month maintenance. Now, in most situations like this where you're doing a lifestyle program, it's very rare that you can actually have weight maintenance. Forgetting about anything else, but just that so the first thing you know is the body weight on Isagenix over the 12 months after. Did it change? I'll give you a hint. I put it on the slide. And now Superman bought back the slide, which is even better. See, this line is what? Relatively flat, right? Well, that's good. Now look what happened to the heart healthy diet. What do they do? Right? All the weight came back. And they're much fatter than when they started, right? Because they lost lean muscle and bone. Well, that's interesting. Look at the body fat percentage.
Wow.
Heart healthy went up. Isagenix, relatively the same. And we need Superman again. Come on. Attaboy. Almost. All right. Well, this is also interesting, as Mark was talking about the deep belly fats that associate all with the terrible stuff humans get, all those major diseases we talked about today. And you'll notice that the visceral fat continued to get lost. So in 30 days, the average Isagenix person loses up 1.6 pounds of visceral fat. They continue to lose visceral fat over 15 months. Unheard of. Never seen it in medicine ever. So this is remarkable. I know this is going to really change your health. Let's see if I get the last one back there. If we get lucky. See what's on this one. All right. So, but this is the really, really interesting one. What's happening to the lean body mass over the 15 months? You remember, the body fat didn't change a whole lot. The weight wasn't changing. So the body fat, about the same. Actually, the body fat went down. Body weight's the same. So what's going on? They're building muscle. So in the maintenance phase, they continue to burn fat and they continue to gain lean muscle. And that's when the study ended. It was still going on when the study ended. So that means they're what? They're in positive anabolic balance. It means they're building muscle and burning fat constantly, day in, day out. The researcher got so excited on stage, I thought he was going to melt down in Canada and also in Vegas. He's never seen this before in any other company, any other study, any other program like this ever. This is the first time it was ever. This is very exciting for you. We've validated all the changes not only you're having, but all the changes that we have seen over the years. So this is the first science we have to document this. There's more studies coming, and this has got peer-reviewed, published as well. It's quite remarkable.
It's huge to have scientific validation behind your products, right? Yeah. Like, I love when you see the Isabody pictures, right? So you see these people transform their bodies and their health. They become Isadelicious, right?
Yeah.
But what's cool, because everybody can look at that picture and say, I want to be Isadelicious too, right? I want to be Isa-sexy. I want to be Isa-hot. You Australians got it, right? Okay, so, but now you can validate why. You can actually go into the back office. You can pull this off. Whether you're talking to a healthcare professional, you're talking to a new customer you're signing up. Some people are more analytical and they need that soundbite. They need to see that. They need to see that validation. You know, the skeptics, those are the funnest ones to sign up, right? How many skeptics besides me when you started? Yeah, there's a room full of them, right? This stuff kills the skeptic. It's like, here you go. Isadelicious? Here's why.
Yeah, it's isoproductau.com. So it's isoproductau, and then you can print off the studies. So this is actually a remarkable finding. So let's talk about what's causing humans to walk around in this sort of negative anabolic balance. It's interesting, Jay and I were talking on the way over, and along with Mark and his lovely wife and Tanya, is the swelling of nations. And even Australians, I mean, you may be shrinking in here, but I tell you, some of the rest of Australia seems to be swelling a little bit. In North America, 1 out of 3 kids are obese, 9 out of 10 kids, 9 out of adults are overweight. Canada's not far behind, and Australia's chasing pretty hard. So we know we have major problems going on, and one of them is toxicity. And Australia is an interesting. You have an interesting government here, I'll say that, politely. They tried to kill us twice on the way in. They didn't succeed. Yes, we're here. But it was kind of funny is that there's a study from Mount Sinai School of Medicine that shows the average person walks around with 160 deadly toxins in their fat. So that's lead, PCB, arsenic, jet fuel, pesticides, insecticides, fungicides. But that's in America. In Australia, though, you walk around with 168. And this is where you got the final one came. We were flying in. I never seen anything like this. And the flight attendants open. We hear pop, pop. So Mark and I are thinking, what? Champagne. No, it was insecticide.
We were hoping.
And they run down, spraying the aerosol. Yeah, you're nodding your head. They're spraying the aerosol while we're on the plane. Okay, and she comes over. Don't worry. You don't have to worry. This is safe. No, it's not safe. The World Health Organization says there's no problem here. You just fumigated a plane of humans. What about the little ones? Like, what about kids? What about pregnant women that are on there? There's no protection from this. So I went out and I got the bottle and I got, nerve gas. Okay? It's a highly toxin. It's actually one of the worst insecticides you can use. And they use it on live humans. Terrible. So 168 toxins in Australia. And furthermore, just to tell you how toxic, apparently you're afraid of bugs in this country, at least in hotels. So when we were in Brisbane, our hotel always smelled like insecticide and pesticide and fungicide. So like we left the windows open and the carpet's saturated, but I walk out one day and there's like 12 dead roaches coming around the corner. I'm thinking there's gonna be a human around just like this. There'd be a dead Aussie around just right there. Unbelievable. And the problem with this is it's hard to get rid of. Because when the toxins come into the body, they hit the liver.
Gently supports the release of these toxins through Isagenix and through the wonderful products. Okay.
All right. Thank you, doctor. So we have to be compliant because Josh Riley is lurking somewhere from corporate. So fat burning fasting, which is interesting, is when people fast, it turns out for the first day, there's majorly positive aspects. So the first thing is you actually support muscle and burn fat in the first 24 hours. How much does that go up in women? How much go up in women?
3,800.
Say it all together. How much go up in women?
3,800.
Now I'm going to really make you bad. This is how much it goes up in men.
No.
Bastards, yes. Well, thank you very much for sharing. Yes, that's very kind. Yeah. It turns out the effect is more in males. Now, what's interesting is it only lasts for 2 days. Because after 2 days, the creator thinks you're the world's worst hunter and puts you in starvation, which Mark talked about. And what happens is it flips, and you actually start gaining fat and trying to conserve fat, and you actually start burning off your lean muscle mass and demineralizing your bones. So whether you're using Isagenix or any other program, it's never more than for 2 days. Okay, so the fasting part's never more than 2 days.
And listen, are we going to talk about, like, it's
Whisper it, so I don't want them to hear you. Go ahead.
It's not okay to have a perfect cleanse day?
Oh, we're getting there.
Okay.
We're just setting them up.
All right.
Don't tell them. No, we're setting them up right now.
Teeing it up.
We're teeing it up, yeah. So what happens on cleanse days, right, is your liver naturally goes into detox at about 3 to 4 hours. So if you haven't eaten for 3 to 4 hours, the liver starts to cleanse the body. And those 168 toxins here come out, circulate around. What do? They go to the liver. What does the liver say? I got nothing to do with it. So then where do they get sucked back up into? The fat. So you want to get rid of them, right? You don't want them around. Okay. So what are we going to do about it? We have nutritional cleansing. And what is this designed to do? I know you've heard all sorts of miracle things that it does, but I'll tell you what I can prove scientifically and I'm allowed to say. It supports the liver in detox. It gives the liver help. The nutrients in this actually support the liver to take those toxins and make them water soluble, and flush them out of the body. And it also stimulates the colon and the kidneys to also help remove them out of the body. So Doc, I think you're up.
Okay. So, nutritional cleansing. We've got botanicals, wonderful nutrients in there, again, that help the body release those toxins. And so, let's talk about cleansing. So we have the ideal cleanse, right? And we're going to try to start everybody on the ideal cleanse. But sometimes, some people struggle, right?
Is this the Tanya recipe?
Yeah.
We got to Tanya. She taught us this today.
Yeah.
She's
Tanya.
amazing. Stand up and say hi. Say hi.
Woo!
Yeah, give it all up to Tanya.
So remember that when you're working with somebody at the beginning, to really coach them and support them, but to tell them, let them know, give them a heads up. Hey, this could be a little tough for you, and here's the tools that are going to help it make it easier. But look, if somebody doesn't make it all the way through their first ideal cleanse, is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah, and let them know it's okay. Because if it's a woman, and instead of it being like a 1,200% increase, oh, darn it, she only got 850. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a huge win. You made a big difference in that person, okay? Now, what Tanya did today was she gave one of her secret weapons, which was awesome. So what she says is let him eat in the morning, start the cleanse at noon with a shake, right? Have him go till the next day at noon and end with a shake. You see, so that's another little bullet. I love that, right? So there's all different kinds of ways that you can tweak it for people. One of the ways that Kathy, my sister, taught me was that, to use the secret weapons. So what are some of the secret weapons to help her cravings in a cleanse? Delights, that's right, okay? So they work incredible. What are some of the other secret weapons? Waythins. Okay, so
I
now.
knocked them out there.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
Okay.
Give 'em a-
So now, because are there a bunch of savory lovers in here? Okay. How many of you are like me and you love sweet sometimes and you love savory others? To be successful on the cleanse, remember that you have to keep them out of digestion. So that means, key word on the cleanse day, tell your people to drip things on themselves. That's a wonderful word because they can get a visual from it. Drip it. So if you're gonna do Waythins, it's not the bag all at once. I understand.
And it's not several bags a day.
Yeah, right.
Oh, this cleanse is so easy. I'll just have another bag.
Right. So I know you want to eat the bag, all right? However, have a few and a few in a couple of hours, 3 or 4 or 5. Sprinkle them, drip them on your day. And is it okay to mix it up? Is it okay to say, okay, I'm going to have 3 or 4 savories now, a couple of hours later an Isolite, a couple of hours later a snack, so you can change it up.
Give them the
mix it up.
golden rule. Thou shalt never mix.
Yes, so we don't want to mix, so we don't want chips and Isolite together. That's why there's separation and dripping. Separation and dripping.
So we're going to clarify. Right? So that means you can't have the snacks with the Isolite and the Waythins all at the same time. You can't have 2 of them. You get to pick how many? 1. And then you wait an hour or 2, and then you have the next one. And one of the reasons is they'll invalidate each other, and sometimes they'll put you into digestion. Especially the Isolite with the snacks or the Waythins. The Isolite will not satisfy your cravings near as well. So mix it up, but it's okay. Give them the Mac story?
I will. So one word of caution on the savory, because there's sodium in the Waythins. Some people will retain water more, and they'll have a harder time with the Waythins having a successful cleanse. So it's a little bit of trial and error. So the perfect story is Mac Larson. Okay, so Mac Larson was very excited because he loved savory. So he used the Waythins to support his most recent cleanse. And he still had a good result, but it wasn't the result that he'd had previously. His wife, on the other hand, does it with Waythins, and she has the best cleanse she's ever had. So you kind of have to know that for some people, they'll do better on an Isagenix, snacks supported, remember separate, dripped. Some people can use all three, separate and dripped, but you have to tweak it a little bit for people, keep an eye on them, and see what works best for them.
Yeah.
One other huge thing. What's the most common thing that a person might report on a cleanse? They'll say to you, gosh, you know, it was good, but I had a...
Right.
Okay, so here's the number one reason for that. It's called dehydration, okay? Remember to tell people you need to have plenty of good, pure water, preferably 4 liters during a cleanse day. They forget. I just had somebody come up to me because we had our little scientific booth in Brisbane. They come up, they say, I always get headaches when I cleanse. Why is that? I said, how much water are you consuming during the cleanse? Oh, I don't do any, I just drink the cleansing solution.
Nice.
Okay, but see, that's the extreme, right? But what if they just had 1 liter of water? We need to flush. You're supposed to pee, you're supposed to poop, all this stuff. Water helps get it out. So be sure to give them the clue of 4 liters of water, not all at once. What do we do with water? We drip throughout the day. So it's sip, 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 sip throughout the whole day. However, especially after 4 o'clock, you can start to taper it down because we don't want you waking up and peeing all night either. Okay?
So the Isagenix, just so you know, the dark Isagenix is actually vegan friendly. And Peter asked us to share that with you, and we had no idea that this was an issue. Because when we design with chocolate, we actually use dark chocolate is just chocolate. And milk chocolate is milk chocolate. We're kind of simple guys. And they kept saying, well, but are you sure? What are you talking about? So we went to the marketplace, we started looking at all the chocolates. And what a lot of dark chocolate companies do is they add milk powder and cream.
Yeah.
Well, that makes it milk chocolate from where I come from. See, if you add dark and milk, what do you got? Milk chocolate. So we had no idea they were cheating. So they 80% dark chocolate. No, it's not. It's got milk powder or cream in it. We do none of that. Ours is completely dairy-free, so it's vegan-friendly. So Peter wanted us to pass that on. Why does Isagenix help you on a cleanse day? All right, we're going to talk about it. It tickles your brain and makes you happy. There's appetite cells, but this is Mark. He loves the appetite cells, so I'll turn it over to you.
So it's wonderful to know that you actually have appetite cells in your brain. Wow, pretty cool. So what they do is they sense when your body is falling short on nutrients. Okay, gosh, my vitamins and minerals and amino acids have dropped. So the brain says, make my body hungry. The appetite cells turn on and you're hungry. So then what happens is, in Australia, you get hungry and you reach for cheese twisties.
Oh, God.
And they come in a big bag.
What's the other thing they do here?
All right.
Those Timmy thingies.
Yeah,
thingies.
Tim Tams. Right?
Oh, goodness gracious.
And so then you scarf up, one of those big Tim Tam tins, or you scarf up a big cheese twisties, and you're full for an hour. Because you've filled up your gut, so you're kind of like, and then the appetite cells in an hour, because you still have starved your body, you've given it crap, you've given it toxins, right? So the appetite cells say, in an hour, I'm hungry again for more junk food, right? Unless you know the secret weapon, which is the Isagenix. We designed it. We put the nutrients in it to tell the brain to make it, to tickle the brain, to fulfill those appetite cells. So they go, oh my goodness, we're getting vitamin B. Oh my goodness, we're getting vitamin D. Oh my goodness, we're getting brain-friendly amino acids. And the appetite cells say thank you, because the body actually got what it needed. You got a delicious thing. So say, I said delicious.
I said delicious.
Yes. So, we made it to give the body what it needs to be happy beyond junk food. Like something that's actually good for you. Right? How cool is that? The perfect thing. So So other uses besides cleansing.
No, we have to go over how many on a cleanse day because
Oh,
there's
yes.
confusion
Okay,
here.
I'll let you handle that.
So on the box, this is 1 out of 2, which is a label required by your friendly government that tried to kill us on the way in. But I will tell you, off label, you can use 4 to 6 on a cleanse day, no problem. Especially new people, and what we tell them is, take whatever you need to do to get through the day, and over time you can cut it down.
Not all at once.
No, not all at once. So we had one fella, and he was really excited. His wife went off to work and says, "It's your first cleanse today." Everything's there. So he gets in, he looks in, there's a box of Isolight. She comes home and goes, "Where's the Isolight?" It was great. I had a great cleanse day. I ate chocolate all day long. There was not a good night for him. That's all I got to say.
So just remember to drip those 4 to 6. 1 or 2 in the morning, 1 or 2 in the afternoon, 1 in the evening. Drip, 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 drip. Not all at once.
All right, so let's talk about, this is a potential cleanser. This could be a Canadian and or an Aussie. There's the keg and there's the exercise device on his belly. Now you're going to cleanse this poor fellow. Is this a highly toxic individual?
Yeah.
Would you like to double his chance of success? Well, let's talk about, there's 3 things that you can do to double his chance of success. The first is give him ice of delight. Okay, that's part 1 of the trifecta. Number 2 is, he's got to have support. Support means you don't have to know anything, you just have to be in contact. How many times the first week? 7 times. Jay knows this, not in your head, Jay. You know this. Yeah, that's right. Good, Jay. All right, every day for the first week, and after that, how often should they be in touch? Minimum. Once a week. So it's important that you support them. All you got to be able to do is do what? Find the answer.
Okay, key word on support. You might want to write this down. Praise, praise, praise. It stirs the human soul. We need a cheerleader. If I'm cleansing, I want this dude stand up.
Oh, that's great. Superman. That's good.
I want this dude cheerleading me, right? I want to know. I want to hear from you. And I want you to say, "Awesome, you did it. Wow. Yeah." Okay? And if it's not him, stand up, beautiful. Here's another cheerleader. OMG. Give it to me, girl. Woo! Yeah. Praise, praise, praise. The more you praise them, the more they'll love it. We need tons of praise. So support is amazing. So when you call them every day, you're doing fantastic. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, you're a tough Aussie, and you're Superman on top of that. Come on now. And the final is you got to give them some kind of metric. Now that's either doing measurements, it's weighing themselves, but ideally you put them into isobody. We know that that actually will transform their outcome, and it's not a one-time. If they don't get their goal, they just do isobody repetitively. But I'll give you a big power tip. Make sure that you get a BMI scale where you can measure body fat. Because remember the 12 months? Remember, they're still putting on lean muscle mass while they're burning fat. If all you're doing is measuring weight, they may not change a lot, but they're actually, we had a woman almost quit after losing 10 dress sizes because her weight really wasn't changing a lot. She was putting on so much lean muscle mass, inches are going down. She said, "Yeah, but I still weigh the same." Yeah, but so we actually got a scale, brought her in and showed her body fat composition was changing. So that's very powerful. Make sure you get that as part of what you do.
And as a target, you got to give people a target to shoot for, but you want them to pick the target. You got what I'm saying? So this is really important. So how do you get them to pick the target? You ask them, what do you want? What are you looking to achieve? Are you looking for unwanted pounds? And if they say, "Yeah, that's what I want," then you say, "How many? What's your goal?" Get them involved. Let them pick. Are you looking to lose inches? Is that what you want? Yeah, I want to look like, show them those pictures. Like, you know, the changing. Like I went from this to Iso-Delicious. I went from this to Iso-Hot. From this to Iso-Sexy. What do you want? Do you want hot? Do you want sexy? Do you want to look more delicious? Find out what their hot buttons are. Ask them questions. Write those things down. And write down what do they want and what are the numbers they're looking to achieve. But let them pick. That's the key. Record it and then put the cheerleaders on.
All right, so this is the final one. This is from Lynn Hagedorn. How many of you cleanse with Iso-Delite? Raise your hand and hold it up. Now hold it up. If you always sign up new people up with Isolite, keep it up, and I have the stats. What's fascinating is half the hands went down. So, just so I understand this, you're at home having a great cleanse. I'm having a great cleanse day. It's great. And Mark, he should have bought it. Huh, the dumb guy. I'm just telling you, he's going to have a terrible day. What an idiot. I mean, I don't know why he didn't buy it. You're doing this. You understand this. If you're taking it, then everyone you sign up, and part of the problem is this is how they sign up people. And I've heard you do this. Well, you know, you're going to do this 30-day cleansing. You do this cleansing thing, and, well, you don't know, you're going to get hungry, and these chocolates help, and, well, I think you should get them. And what do you say?
Okay.
No, you said no, because you have no idea what I'm talking about. You're asking someone who's never done a cleanse if they should have chocolate. In the middle, what are they going to say? I should have bought the chocolate. So this is how you say it. You're going to need these chocolates to get through the day. What flavor would you like? Milk, salted caramel milk, or dark? That's how you do it, because they need it. Now, what's interesting on the stats, whether they use it just the first month or subsequently, the first month makes all the difference in doubling their success rate. That's double the length of time in the company, that's double the buy, that's double the retention.
How many want your customer's order basket to double? Okay, we went to IT and we started asking questions. So this is at the IT HQ in Arizona. We started asking questions. And what we found was, we suspected, but we were blown away. So when people start on Isolite, their order basket doubles, their retention doubles, their success doubles, and they're twice as likely as to become a business builder.
And make sure and that's along as you do the support and what? You get them to measure along the way. Let's say this together. Friends don't let friends cleanse without Isolite. So if you don't like them, don't give it. But if you actually like them, so let's say it together. Friends don't let friends cleanse without Isolite. And there's no conviction, so I know some poor friends of yours are going to be saying, oh, I should have had that chocolate. All right, so let's talk about the shake. We're down to the last 10, so we're going to motor doctor.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
All right, so we're on to the shake. So, a lot of the shakes out there come from cows that are like this, which is a really sad situation. This is actually in Arizona, right next to the old headquarters. It's called a feedlot in America. Yes, it's sad. No grass, right? They're fed GMO cornflakes, steroids, antibiotics. They're abused, and they take that way and they make it into this cheapest, worst product on the planet. We take whey from New Zealand cows that are very happy down under, right? They do cow-like things, and they're grass-fed. And they're not toxic.
Very important that you know how to explain this. Here's what's going to happen. How many times have you, I know you've been at the gym, and people have come up to you and said, what the hell are you doing? Right? So, and so then you say, oh, well, instead of telling them, you say, what are you doing? And they say, well, I do a protein shake. How many of you had them say that? So you say, oh, that's great. You're just not doing the right one. Walk away. They will chase you. You want people chasing you. Okay? So it's really important to ask questions to get them engaged, but to know the difference. So when they are grass-fed, it changes because now it's clean whey. You can explain to that person. You can say, well, what are you taking? First of all, when they say they're taking a shake, do praise them, tell them it's a great idea, but then start asking them questions. Say, oh, do you happen to know where the whey comes from? Is it from grass-fed cows? What are they going to say?
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay. Next question. You know what? Do you know what brand you take? Do you have it with you? How many times are you on the phone with somebody and you're signing them up, right? Oh, do you have that shake in front of you? Can you look at it? Where it says whey protein, can you just look and tell me, does it say cold processed or undenatured? Because that's point number 2. Undenatured whey protein is a massive, huge thing. Because what that means is the long branch amino acids that change the body composition, that transforms that person to Isodelicious, are left intact when it's undenatured. The other companies don't do this. Why don't they do it? Why don't they cold process or have undenatured whey protein? There's only one answer. Money. And they know the general public doesn't know. So they're banking on the general public doesn't know. But Isagenix, you're in the life-saving business. So you're going to save them and you're going to let them know. If it's not undenatured, the long branch amino acids get broken up. And here's the analogy you give. You say, is raw organic broccoli good for you? What's the answer?
Yeah.
What if you boil it for an hour? What happens? They're going to go, it destroys it. That's what happens with whey protein in shakes that are not undenatured. They cook it and they get it out the door quickly, and it breaks apart the very nutrient and destroys what your body needs. That's why I look like this and you look like something else.
Taunting, that's a great way of recruiting.
Give them the third
You
one.
look like crap. That's why you need this product. Sing.
But see, when you ask them questions, you get them to reach. Without reach, there's no value. So remember to ask questions, because now they're reaching. When they reach, they have value. And if you know the difference, you can give them the difference.
You gotta give them the third one now.
Yes. Okay, so we've got grass-fed cows, right?
Yep.
What's the second one? Right. Let them discover it on their own shake packet, because they're going to say, oh, I'm already doing a shake. You get that? Oh, I'm already doing a shake.
Yep.
Oh, good for you. Let's see what it is. Okay. Third thing, digestive enzymes. Wow. We are what we eat, right?
Yep.
Wrong. We are what we can absorb and what our body can assimilate, what we can break down. When you put the digestive enzymes in it, it actually allows your body to assimilate and absorb it. What about the other shakes with no digestive enzymes? They're peeing and pooping it out. Okay? Now there's one more thing that's important that you always like to tell them about the shake.
Oh yes, right now someone is out there blogging and talking about that you can take the shake after 10, 20 minutes. You can make it and take it later in the day.
No.
That is entirely correct. That's right. The enzymes start working as soon as you add water, right? And what happens is it breaks down those branched chain amino acids. It basically flattens the whey, and you lose all the effectiveness of the shake. So when you put water in it, or whatever you're putting in, how long should you take to consume it?
Immediately.
Yeah, you just start drinking it, okay? You cannot leave it around 10 minutes. It'll flatten. Now, there's some people that don't do well on whey. They do better on dairy-free. What's nice is this is complete protein. It's hard to get this in dairy. And it is, to do this and make it taste good, took John Anderson 3 years. It's a terrific option, and now you have a dairy-free bar, the Chocolate Berry Bliss. Let's talk briefly about stress. So stress is associated a lot with weight gain and putting in that negative anabolic balance. So for example, there was a study done on women where they gave them stress management for 30 days. The average woman lost 5 pounds of pure body fat, no change in diet. So it just tells you how much it's affecting us. Now you can do meditation, qigong, yoga, tai chi, just even cardio exercise every day. But the thing that's really powerful for this, in nutritional terms, is the ionic herbs. Tanya, how are we doing for time? 5 minutes. Matt, where are you? Or Steve? Oh yeah. Can we have an extra 5 or 10 minutes, fellas? We can have an extra 5, or we got only 5? Oh, you're a good man. All right. So the story on the ionics is they're adaptogenic herbs, and they come from Ayurvedic and Indian medicine. And what they are designed to do is balance your body under stress. Now the Russians got hold of them in the 70s for performance for their cosmonauts, their soldiers, and Olympic athletes, but mostly for their starved workers to get more performance. And Beckman, he studied this in St. Petersburg. And Jim Coover came over in 1985 when the wall came down and licensed the formulas, which are used in ionics and enhanced, and they're also in the E-shot. So golden rule is you don't have E-shot and ionics at the same time, because they contain almost the same adaptogenic herbs. You have one or the other. So this is
it's okay to have them. Just have them separate.
have them separately.
Okay. E-shot when you need a little energy lift. Ionics is great for an energy lift too, right? It's just without the caffeine, but not together, because you Australians, you are a concoction people. Oh, well, in my shake, I have E-shot, I have Ionics, I have Greens, I have Nox.
And a little Tim Tam, just to, All right, so let's switch and talk about exercise. So what's the best way best exercise to lose weight? I'll give you it easy, folks. I actually put it up on this. We'll try it again. It's really easy. So, what's the best exercise to lose weight? Right, and it's heavy resistance training. And that's almost as good as interval training, and doing them combined. Now, we've known this for years. What was interesting is these are the same type of exercise that was done in the Skidmore study. And in the Skidmore study, they studied using Isagenix protein at 2 grams per kilogram versus the standard sports medicine, which is 1 gram of protein per kilogram. And they compared men and women against the standards doing the same type of exercise, same caloric intake. Which was very interesting was the Isagenix group, the form of exercise he picked was what? Resistance training, interval training, and stretching. And we've known this for years, so this is what he did. And what was amazing was both groups had remarkable difference in the Isagenix group. Now remember, this isn't the AMP line. This is doing just the Isagenix program. So here we have the women were up 5 times in upper body strength, 2 times in muscular endurance, 2 times core strength, and they had 5 times less stiffness in their coronary arteries. Wow.
Yeah.
And the men were a little better on the strength, but it was basically the same. So basically they got stronger, faster, fitter, and they had more lean body mass and less fat. That's an amazing study. Okay, I'm the
Now
only
it's
one.
completely validated, right? You've got scientific researched proof. Does it get any better?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, hang on, let's see. Okay, so one of the things though is when you finish exercising, what's really important? You want to get nutrition in. That's right. There's a window that opens up where your muscles are actually ready to absorb amino acids, and it puts you in positive anabolic balance. That window is open for 1 hour, and then it starts to close fairly rapidly. So you have 1 hour to get it in. You can't get it in protein. You got to get in amino acids, right? And the best kind is from what kind of protein? And what kind of whey protein should it be? Undenatured, grass-fed with digestive enzymes. And how long does it take you to digest a shake? Half an hour. So how long after exercise should you put your shake in you? Straight away.
Immediately. So I want to clarify the open window for an hour. Okay, so when you're done with your workout, the window, what's happening is your muscle receptors, you have receptors on your muscles that open during physically demanding exercise. And what they want is they want long branch amino acids. They're saying, please give it to me, baby. So they open the window to let the shake in. But as soon as you finish your workout, the window is wide open, but it slowly starts to close over the hour, and then it's gone. Now, that's not to say that you can't have people. How many of you have some people that are on Isagenix and they never exercise? Okay. Are they still going to benefit amazing from being on the shake and the 30-day plan? Yeah. Of course. Life transforming still. But your athletes and people that do work out, then take advantage of the window being open.
All right.
Right away.
We have a few minutes to summarize. You want me to go into the AMP line really quickly for you to kind of straighten it out for you? All right. So we didn't have the slides, but this will be the bonus section for you. The bonus round. Okay, quick. You've got power, you got replenish, you got Knox, and you have what else here? Recover. Okay. So let's start backwards. Since we already talked post-workout, you take the shake. You can also try recover. Now, if you train hard enough, some people really do well by adding additional long-chain branch amino acids. You always start with the shake. I'll tell you something unusual. Some people actually do well with taking recover while they train. Yeah. And some people take it really well if they actually take it before they train. So what you want to do is try these products one at a time and try recovered, because some people do well, some people don't. Power is the same thing. It's actually about increasing the energy at the mitochondrial level. You want to take power before you train. Some people do well on power and Knox. Some people do well just on Knox. You never know. So always the advice is start with one. And then if it works for you, so if say Jay worked out, because Jay's an animal in the gym, it's scary. If Jay's in the gym like an animal, and he's taking the power, and he's doing well, then he's going to add in the Knox. And the timing, some people do well at the same time, some people do well if they split it. Again, you're going to have to find out for you. Replenish can be at the beginning, during, and after. And all I'll tell you is on that line, find out what works for you. Additional products you can take, Ionics or E-shots. Now with E-shots, some people like training with caffeine, others don't. Some people do well on it. but you don't take both. Take one or the other. Any of those combinations, you will find something in there that's extraordinary for you. Take your time, do one at a time, try different timing, and you'll find something that really transforms your workouts. But just remember, when you finish, the first thing that goes in you is an IsoPro or Isolean Pro shake. In it goes. All right, I want to thank you. I'm sorry we went over a little there, Mac, but thanks for giving us the time. That's what Isagenix makes you here.